Tech with Heart. I am your host, Michelle Calloway, and I am all about empowering entrepreneurs to embrace technologies, different systems, and mechanisms so that they can stay competitive and relevant. And today we are talking about a super important topic. Publicity. How can you shine so bright online that you literally attract your perfect clients to you? Isn't that what we all want? Hallelujah. I've got an expert that I'm bringing on as our special expert of the day. Her name is Jill Lublin. She is my publicity coach. She taught me everything that I know on how to help others shine as well as myself. And she is a master at publicity strategy. And she has helps businesses have more profitability and visibility online, which is really where it's at. You have to be seen in order to attract more clients. And she has over 20 years experience working with over 100,000 people, plus national and international media. So she knows how to work the press. Hallelujah. We need somebody to guide us and direct us in that manner. She's an international speaker and author of 4 best-selling books. But the 2 that I really love are Guerrilla Publicity and Profit of Kindness. Now, we're going to talk a lot about generosity today because that is the name of the game, especially in a pandemic. But Jill Lublin, welcome to the Tech with Heart stage. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Michelle. I always love being with you.
So let's go ahead and get right on into it because everybody's struggling to be seen in a sea of competition, and publicity is one of the things that unfortunately they don't do enough of. Some people feel like, oh, I don't want to tout my own horn, but you need to in a way that's healthy, it's balanced, it's good. So talk to us. What is the first thing that businesses can do to put themselves on the map?
Well, first of all, you got to be willing to toot your own horn because realistically, who else is going to do it, right? People want your services. They want what you've got and you're the one to deliver it. But my question is, if nobody knows about you, how will they come to you? Michelle said it, publicity is an attraction factor strategy. And what I also know is that publicity equals impact equals influence, right? And you want to be the influencer in your arena, whatever you're selling, product, service, nonprofit, all of it counts and all of it matters. Using publicity makes it happen.
So let's break it down then. So as far as getting yourself on the map, you're a proponent. You say this all the time. It sticks in my head. Become an expert in your own backyard. Become known everywhere in your local community. So what are some tips that we can do as business owners, practical, technology or otherwise, that we could do to start making a name for ourselves in our community?
So what I love, my favorite strategy, completely free, I must add, is that in your own local communities, each of you usually has a business journal, right? And your daily paper. In those 2 sources, there's a section called People in the News. As far as I know, you're all listening, you're a people. So you want to be getting into the People in the News section. And a great way to do that is one simple announcement that is completely free, announcing something. Like Michelle would announce her Tech with Heart show. I would talk about my Year of Kindness launch. Whatever it is that all of you are doing, you've got something that could be being talked about or announced. Maybe you got recently selected for a nonprofit, or you won an award, or you even recently hired an employee, or you moved offices back home, but who's saying, right? And the point is that you can all actually announce something. So I highly recommend to use this strategy. It's an announcement strategy, and it helps you get out locally and be heard. I call that the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. Great strategy, works well. I highly recommend it. The other thing, since we're a tech, and Michelle, I know you'll love this one, but I also want you to follow reporters on social media, whatever your platform that you most enjoy. Go ahead and look for the reporters who talk about that business, health, lifestyle kind of issues, real estate. There's always an editor or media person who will be talking about that. So you can scan for categories, and that's a really good strategy that also works.
Wonderful. I love it. So the announcements, making announcements, sometimes even launching a new product is an announcement. It's announcement worthy. It's something that everybody wants to know about. Some people say, well, I have a newsletter list. Great. It's like that, but out to the public, right? It's like, yeah, let's get it out there. Let's let people know what you're doing and how amazing you are. And it's also good for SEO. And for those who don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. So you do these public announcements on these free, like Jill said, I love the free stuff. I love to help our audience embrace technologies that are going to do mega good for them, but not have to necessarily break their bank, right? So these are free platforms that get your word out, and then it boosts your SEO. I'm going to just throw in a few more, if you don't mind, Jill, that I like to make sure businesses are utilizing, because there are many free resources out there that will allow them essentially to do what you're suggesting, make regular announcements. And that is Google My Business. Guys, if you do not have a Google My Business account, it is free. If you are a legitimate business or even a nonprofit, you can go to Google My Business, create your own little mini site that Google owns, but Google likes to promote their own stuff, right? So they're going to like promoting you. And then you can even get verified on Google, which gives you even more clout. You can use that same platform to have people write reviews, Jill. They can write reviews and 5-star reviews right there on Google, right there on your Google My Business account, as well as you can post regular announcements. So that's another place to get found. And Patch, Patch, it's really community based, and you just select your local community and you can post regular announcements there and also find out other stuff that's going on in your community, which is also a very powerful thing to do to stay in front of what's happening in your local area.
Well, and can I add then one more, because you got me excited and
I'm
thinking
so
about.
excited. Yes, let's talk and talk and talk. Let's just give nuggets of wisdom, value, value, value.
Absolutely. So I'm going to add in Patch. No, Patch. You already said that. Excuse me. Nextdoor. I'm going to add in Nextdoor, your local neighborhood app. I mean, that you can't be promotional, but listen, I took a nutrition class from one of my neighbors, right, who was saying, hey, let's get your immune system boosted. I thought that's a good idea in these times. So definitely use Nextdoor if you're doing something particularly free. You can't be overly promotional there. And same thing with Patch, actually, too. But both are really good local resources. So especially like when I was doing a live virtual, now my publicity courses are virtual, but when I was doing them live, if I would go to, let's say, Dallas, I would use the Dallas patch to announce my course there. Now, with the virtual, I use my local community to announce it. But I'm just saying, wherever you're going, you can announce your event also. So I want to add that into Patch. That works really well.
Yeah, Patch works for that, and so does Google My Business, by the way. And another resource that is free for quite a bit of power is Alignable. That's also very community centric. They really want to support small businesses. So that's another free resource. So we just dumped a ton of value right there.
I think so.
Let's talk about social media. How do you recommend people put themselves on the map on social media?
So that relates to a little bit the last comment I make. So I want to just restate that so you can really hear that. Guess what? Reporters, media people, journalists are on social media looking for you. So they might find you, or better yet, you find them. So what I'd like you to do is actually track them, so to speak, the ones who specifically focus on your topics, and then comment to them, be a source to them. You got to understand, media people are really busy, right? But here's the deal. They got to come up with great people really quickly. They've got to come up with experts like you who are going to be their source and their resource. So I'm going to recommend that you Google your friendly reporters who are interested to feature people just like you. So you'll find reporters from Inc. magazine and Entrepreneur and Forbes and different places. Go look for them, columnists who are doing specific topics, right? And then there's some general, we'll call them business reporters or small business reporters. That would be a good way to start first. And then the other thing I love social media for is make sure your message is clear. Right. So, Michelle was asking me about the problem, and you've got to make sure that you're being a solution provider, right? What's the problem out there? And so when you do that, post that all over your own social media. I had a gentleman in Australia shifted his message based on the right way to do a message from a public relations perspective. And guess what happened? 250 likes in one day on his Facebook. That's great public relations. So that's another great thing to do. And then go into groups and wherever you're most prominent and start being the expert there and get yourself known. I mean, there's many ways to create public relations. I like to call them visibility building activities, VBAs, visibility building activities. That's the thing to up your game so that people know your name. Boy, that rhymes, Michelle.
Yeah, wow. You just created your own little mantra there. You can just come up with that and just all these Jillisms, we'll call them Jillisms.
Jillisms, yes. Jill's jewels.
Jill's jewels. Wow.
Ooh, I like it.
You're on fire right now. Speaking of social media again, continually putting out like stories of something that just happened or stories that help you be seen as a thought leader. Everybody loves stories. I recommend, let's go into that next topic within this, put yourself on the map. Let's talk about live broadcasting and the power of it and how many different facets are there to broadcast live and communicate your message. It is unlike ever before. It is so exciting. You really don't have excuses anymore. You just don't. You can't say, well, I don't have enough money to travel to these different conventions. It's all happening all over the place. Coronavirus has opened a vault of resources, and I've never seen so many people be so generous with their knowledge. But let's talk about how entrepreneurs can get themselves out there and be seen and known and start to be building up that profile as a thought leader on social media.
So the first thing I would, and by the way, I call this the Corona bonus, right? Because we can be connecting to each other, networking with each other, putting our name out there in ways like never before. It's a really interesting multiplier that's possible right now. So I'm just excited about that. I'm just saying. And I think one thing that always is important for social media and everywhere is make sure you have like at least a couple good articles ready to go. And when I say articles, I'm talking 500 words, not big, just factual, great, simple pieces that give people real things to do right now. Right. And so I like 3 or 5 simple things. I wouldn't go 7 or 10, right? It's too much. And I think right now in particular, like Michelle said, this is so powerful. We're doing a Facebook Live coming to you right now, right? Guess what you can be doing? Same thing. And I believe in keeping things really simple and short because frankly, from traditional media, we are all trained, just so you know, like when you're watching a TV segment, 4 minutes and 20 seconds is some of the longest ones. They'll start from 2 minutes to 4 minutes. That's it. Like when you're watching major media networks. So I always recommend people come on, do some quick, simple things. Like, why don't you do just, 3 simple tips, 2 minutes or less, and you're on, you're in, and you're out. And what that means is just we'll call it a fountain of knowledge, right? And people will look to you as a leader with something to say and a good, fast, focused way to say it. That works really well, and I highly recommend it. And that you can do those in Instagram, in LinkedIn, on Facebook, and multiple formats, YouTube, of course. So let's get you out there starting on that. And that's your own publicity that you're in control of with great tips that are delivered simply. Go practice if you need to, but sometimes just go on and do it from the heart. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. Let go of the perfection, my friends, because done is better than perfect.
Done is better than none.
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you can use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of REVEALiO Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at REVEALiO.com, and together we will make your business come alive.
So speaking of the power of video, so live broadcasting, you can live broadcast from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, I think, and even YouTube. So there's a plethora of places where you can broadcast live. And if you've built up a following, you can actually, they will get notified that you're going live and they can choose to tune in. But here's the thing, I see this all the time. Remember to post in the title the topic that you're covering, even if it's just 3 bullet points that you're going to hit on. They still need to understand the value of why they should tune in just then. Otherwise, there's still tremendous power afterwards. So on Facebook Live, I know that the more you can get people to engage your content, like if you're watching this right now and you're on Facebook, go ahead and put live, #live, because that lets the Facebook algorithm know that you're engaging with our content. If you are watching this recording after the fact, just put in the comments below #replay, because again, Facebook sees that as interactivity and it continues to serve it up for more and more people to be blessed with these amazing tips from our expert, mega expert, Jill Lublin. So those are some tips that I would recommend. And the other beautiful thing about video is it taps into all 4 of our learning styles. There are people who learn better through visual aids. There are people who learn better by hearing, auditorial learners. Then there are people who are learning better through text, like reading it. And I guess it only taps into 3. REVEALiO will bring it into 4. So REVEALiO is our technology where you can make objects and images like business cards and banners come alive with video. And so that taps into the 4th. So that's where I guess my brain was going, because I'm so used to saying all 4, it taps into all 4. But the beautiful thing is that you can see how Jill's looking straight into the camera. You can see her authenticity. You can tell by her body language whether or not she is somebody that you believe you can know, like, and trust and want to do business with. So it's incredibly powerful. So recommended and so underdone, unfortunately. People are afraid of being perfect. I think maybe they're just afraid of being, made fun of, or who knows what the issues are. Judged is not a fun thing. And just so you know too, Jill's pretty famous. Jill's famous. And she's famous in her own industry. She's very well known. So yeah, you're going to get some people who don't always agree with everything you do. And so we call them haters. The bigger you get, the more haters you get. And that has absolutely no bearing on you. It all has to do with the issues that they have. So don't let other people's issues keep you from rising and shining as big as you're meant to be. Okay.
Wait, I got to underline that, because and I know, and we feel the same way about this, that, you are meant to shine. And this is why, frankly, what's kept me going, my fuel for the power of publicity, is because I know that you are the ones that are delivering your message, the experts, and that there was something seeded in your heart to put out there, to create, to become more visible. And so it is your gift to the world to be that. And whatever little step you can take, whatever feels right to you to do, then let's do it. But the point is to take a step, baby step, big step, doesn't matter. The point is, let's put it out there and start getting your message out there, because your message matters. Your message matters.
Your message matters so much. And honestly, if anything, Corona has really allowed a lot of us to kind of sit and say, analyze our life, like, what is our purpose? And if you were the best kept secret, then what good has that been? If you have a mission and a purpose and you've stepped into that calling, then these tips that we're giving you right here, I think everything we've mentioned so far is free, Jill. These are all things that you could be doing that are free.
It's totally free. And Michelle, I just want to say my REVEALiO. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's based on Guerrilla Publicity. And you did say that 4th way was REVEALiO. And let me just say, we did use her service for Profit of Kindness, and it's super cool.
It is so cool.
It's just so fun. So just saying, I love
Yeah,
it.
that is really, really cool. I'm going to just show everybody since you brought it up, because this is just one more way that we're able to have impact when we're out and about networking, or even in times of shelter in place, social distancing. We can still have such positive impact through story. And we literally are making a name for ourselves. Let me show you Jill's book and what it happens when it's spewed through our free REVEALiO app. Okay, we're talking about the profit of kindness here. So when the REVEALiO app is loaded up on her phone or my phone, I can demonstrate this, and anybody can download this app on their phone. If you want to buy her book, you can go Profit of Kindness, Jill Lublin. She's amazing. Are you ready? Here's what happens.
Hi, I'm Jill Lublin, and I'm the author of 4.
See how it actually comes alive? Her video is tracking on top of her book cover, and then there's call to action buttons that appear below. So this is super exceptional, a wonderful way to stand out, but it doesn't cost, it doesn't break the bank. And so that's just another way. You can say, you can call it publicity, but realistically, you can make any of your marketing materials come alive. So thank you for that, Jill. That was a tiny little plug for our sponsor, REVEALiO, which is our parent company. And super happy to integrate all of these techniques. Guerrilla Publicity is the book that covers everything that's pretty much free. All these things you can be doing for free. Go to Guerrilla Publicity on Amazon. I'm assuming that's where they can find it, Jill.
Actually, JillLublin.com is perfect.
Okay, JillLublin.com. That makes it so much easier. All right, let's keep moving this ball forward, and let's talk more about press releases, the power of press releases. What do you have to say?
Absolutely. So a couple things. One is a press release, yes, is still the best way to reach the media. And I love to teach it as a really simple 4-paragraph document that answers the focus of what's the solution that the reader, listener, or viewer needs. Not like what you do. Please do not write your press release from, I got a new product and here's what it is and here's how super great it is. Yes, that's one part, but really like what's in it for the reader, the listener, the viewer. I remember when I was interviewing media for Guerrilla Publicity, and I actually asked them, what do you like and what do you hate when you get press releases? And one of the things that Entrepreneur Magazine shared with me was, you must be focused on their readers, right? So just keep that in mind as you're putting together press releases. Really make them simple, keep your language easy, and let people know at the end how they can order, where they can find you, all that good stuff. But I think the biggest thing is it's that sort of KISS formula, right? Keep it simple and keep it focused on what the media gains, what their readers gain by featuring you. That will engage them. And think from a story perspective. I think that's better too, that you're really focusing on what's the story here, and put that into the mix in whatever way you can.
So I'm going to just expand upon that a little bit, because this has become my new favorite thing to help businesses with, because it is something that at some point in time, every business needs to do for sure to get themselves on the map and in the press, right?
Absolutely.
And there are, I love the fact that it's about the readers, and that is so true, because you can try and write it like you would normally write maybe a blog post, and it feels very you talking to one person. So you write it to that one person. So you're using language like you and your, right? But on a press release, no, it's about newsworthy content. And so they don't like it to feel personal. They want it to feel like you're addressing their audience, not just one person, but their audience. So you want to use words like they are, there, and make it all about, so you're writing the press release is like a third person. You're writing it about your company. But I love the stories, and I love the hooks. The hooks are the part that really, so think about it. When you're scrolling, you want to use a headline that's going to be captivating and relevant. And Jill's super master at this part. And then the hook part is like that little snippet that shows up underneath it. That is going to be like the thing that's going to get them to go click, because they love what you're saying there. It's super relevant, or it's super curiosity, oriented, where you're going to want them to click. So we help you with that as well. Jill helps you with that. But there are places where you can go and just Google how to write a stellar press release or an excellent press release, you can Google it. And there are places where you can actually put out free press releases. Your distribution may not be as robust as, a higher, more advanced, I call ours Cadillac press releases, because we pretty much can guarantee 97% guarantee that you would get picked up in the national news. And those are major news networks like ABC, NBC, CBS. And those are great to be able to put on your website as far as been featured in. So that is another power tool for businesses, especially ones that have never done it before, because it just gives them that clout on their website. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I think everything you said is so important. And I just want to really say that writing the press release is it is presenting your story to the media. It's your little bow tie to your gift, right? And that's really a key. I just want to throw in here that I don't believe in sending out a press release every week. I'm just not the type, let me just say, but, have a good story. Now, the exception to that is when there's a story and you fit right in, rock and roll, let's go, and absolutely send it out. So I think that's really a key. And distribution is important. I think your service is wonderful, Michelle, and really getting it into their hands, because, like if you go to one of my sites, profitofkindness.com, with the book, you will see on the bottom ton of media, and that's only a third of what we got because we used a good press release distribution site. And I think that's really important, that you get featured, get known, and start having others talk about you. It makes a big difference, and your credibility goes sky high.
Yes, because when other people pick up your story, that's edification. That's edification
Absolutely.
that you are worthy of being picked up. And so therefore, it's not something even you want to just announce. Like, you can, once you do the press release and you get great coverage, then you need to share that. You need to keep announcing that, right? You can, because that's big. So don't stop with just the one-time pickup. Go ahead and advertise it. And then, you can say, well, we just got picked up by NBC, and then you let that ride for about a month, and then you say, we just got picked up by CBS, so you can keep the momentum going and get people like, wow, they're just like firing on all cylinders. I got to go check out what's going on over there, because I love that momentum.
So that's called publicizing your publicity. You must publicize your publicity. And what she's saying there, Michelle, that's really important. It's called leverage, my friends. Leverage is key. Publicity lets you do that.
So let's talk about a media kit real quick, Jill. Not everybody knows what a media kit is or how vital it is to have those elements ready to go. You mentioned earlier about having an article on the standby. Well, let's talk about having a media kit on the standby, just in case you get that call from that reporter. What are we talking about? What's a media kit?
Well, media kits are different now. Mostly, I like a great press release, a great photo. Make sure you have a really good photo. And when I say that, I mean like a headshot, which means upper chest to just right above the head. You want well-framed headshot. And, then again, if you're a presenter or maybe you have a product, you want a good product shot is excellent, or you're a speaker, you probably want one of you speaking and training. But you can have multiples, and that's really good. Make sure you have a good one, and make sure that it's updated, please, and it looks like you now. If you've lost weight or gained weight, you changed your hair color or whatever, make sure that your photo reflects the same. So I just really want to remind people about that. And then I'd have, depending, again, if you have a product, you want a spec sheet, which indicates pricing, and also maybe a photo of the product, depending on what you're promoting and offering. And, honestly, I'd keep it really simple. Even as an author, I will tell you that when we were promoting all my books, I didn't just send the book to them. I waited till they said yes. And then of course they requested a copy, or I'd have PDFs of anything I had ready. So make sure you've got everything in electronic version ready to go. I'm also a big believer, this is sort of one of those ninja guerrilla tips, but I am not a proponent of attachments for the media, because they're a little reluctant to open attachments unless they know it's coming. So I would embed everything into the body of the email if you can, and don't overwhelm them. Simple first, get them engaged, get them to say yes, the media, I mean, and then you send the next piece. So in my case, it would be a book, or in some of your cases, a product sample, or whatever it is you're promoting next. That's probably what I'd recommend for the best results.
Those are great tips about the attachment, because I do know that there's hesitation when it comes to that. Sometimes it won't even go through because there's attachments. So let's talk about embedding. What exactly are you referring to? Are you talking about hyperlinks to a place where those media images are hosted, like on a Dropbox or a G Drive or even a website?
That's one way to do it. What I'm saying is put everything in the body of the email. Like, don't rely on attachments.
Like
Bottom line.
insert image into the body of the email.
Exactly.
And how do you insert a PDF ebook?
I was hoping you knew.
So
this is Michelle's department.
Yes, so I'm interested, because what I would imagine would work is a link to that PDF if it's hosted on a cloud service, because then they could go and they could view it, whether it's on Dropbox or whether it be on G Drive.
Or you could just show the cover. I mean, really, that's really all you need.
Okay, all right.
Like a photo of the cover. That's it. Or for me, as an author, or just a photo right there.
Well, that's very interesting. Thank you for giving us that little bit of insight too. I know how important it is to have a bio ready to go. A bio, it could be a short bio, a little bit longer bio. And also, if you are a speaker, it may behoove you to go ahead and create a speaker sheet as well, so that they understand what your speaking topics are and what the audience will get out of you as a speaker. That's important, again, to make it about the audience, not so much about you always. That's great stuff. All right, we're going to round this up with Jill's profit of kindness. The whole idea of generosity is just really flowing right now. In a pandemic era, we saw that empathy and generosity were like the name of the game in 2020, and I see it still overflowing in 2021. We're in January here when this is being filmed right now. So Jill, please share with us how can we gain visibility online through generosity?
So I agree with you, Michelle. I mean, honestly, this is a moment for so much kindness. What I've seen is successful companies thriving in this time because of generosity, because of giving away things, because of being experts, business consultants, coaches, speakers, authors I work with. A lot of what we're doing is making it so that your information is getting out there quickly and simply. And I think that's really a key. Right? And so come up with something. Like, I teach a free publicity masterclass. I have free kindness circles based on the profit of kindness. And one of the things I've launched this year is my year of kindness, where we're coming together every single month to share kindness. Michelle's in it, and we're collaborating and connecting as wonderful business owners every single month. So that for me is the year of kindness. Well, I started that because, frankly, I saw a need for kindness in this world, and God had planted a seed in my heart to do these kindness circles once Profit of Kindness came out. And here's what I learned about so many businesses, especially in writing Profit of Kindness, since it's come out with the kindness circles, is the truth is we all need more kindness, right? Bottom line. I mean, everybody needs more kindness, and especially in this pandemic, where we need to share generously and give more and give often, and practice what I like to refer to as conscious acts of kindness, not random acts of kindness, conscious acts of kindness every single day. So that's what I'm going to ask you all to do. And let's start now.
Let's start now. And before we go into our closing, which you're going to learn a little bit how you can access Jill's kindness circles, which is an amazing opportunity to meet very forward-thinking, heart-centered, amazing people that are doing amazing things.
I got a cat coming in. Wants to say hi.
Everybody loves kitty cats. So let's talk about intention real quick. There are a lot. I'm hearing a lot of business owners say, I'm struggling. I can't pay my bills. It's tight. Businesses are closing left and right. It's kind of scary when you let yourself dwell in that space. But when you talk about intention, like when you come into a strategy session, you've made a connection somehow online or at a networking event. Now you're coming into where you're meeting with one another. Can you speak to the importance of setting your intention around the concept of generosity and how that has been proven to win again and again?
So here's the deal. If you give generously, somehow, maybe it's not right from that person, but you will be rewarded. And the reality of what I've seen is that as you consistently give, as you consistently share, as you consistently connect, and for me, it's about connection, right? I love connecting people. You know, I'm very well connected, and I love sharing that generously, right? And so as I do that, people are like, wow, you know, you just saved me a ton of time or money or energy or resources or having to figure this out. And they will remember that, right? They will send or help you in other ways, whatever it is, or not, or it'll come through in some other way. I am never attached to how it happens. We got Kitty saying hello here. I'm never attached to how it happens. What I want is that you just give generously. And so with that, if you're practicing conscious acts of kindness, you will see multiplication of goodness coming back to you.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm seeing it so much. I'm shifted from just focusing on how I can help people, but to true authentically go into a conversation with, like, my intention is to find out just how I can help. And sometimes money doesn't always exchange hands during the conversation, but it always is coming back to me. And right now, there's so much in the power of making a name for yourself as a generous person. People will be more than happy to refer business to you when they realize that you truly do care about other people's success. So that
Yes.
intention is about caring for their success, not only about your own success. It just comes back, loss, reciprocity. So share with us real quick, Jill, where we can go to get involved in these amazing free kindness circles you're talking about. What a great way to build out your network is to connect with other amazing people. Yeah.
Yes, and we have an amazing community happening right now. And for a free kindness circle, please come to jilllublin.com/kindness circles. And then I'd love you to support you on getting your message out. And for that, you can check out my free publicity masterclass, which is jilllublin.com/publicity. So those are 2 free opportunities for you. Come on in, we'll get you rocking, we'll get you kind, we'll get you out there, we'll get your messaging out there, because remember, again, I'm going to restate it because it's really important. Your message matters.
Your message sure does matter. And speaking of your message, if you feel that you are a thought leader in your industry that could bring value back to our entrepreneurial and small business Tech with Heart audience, please reach out to us at techwithheartnetwork.com. Join our network. We love it when we have bigger influencers coming in to serve and to give, like, mentoring. And we also have an ample opportunity for any entrepreneurs that are in our audience to just network with one another. We have a great group of people. Just come in, techwithheartnetwork.com. Reach out to me if you feel that you would be a good fit to give back to our community through an interview like what I'm doing here with Jill. We have the Tech with Heart TV show on Roku, Amazon Fire, and we have the Tech with Heart podcast, over 10 podcast platforms. So we are out there spreading the word, trying to lift up entrepreneurs so that they can stay competitive and relevant for long-term success. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jill.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. Until next time, take good care. Bye-bye.